It's the book nobody can read. More than 200 pages of alien-looking letters and fever dream diagrams locked inside a Yale vault. A manuscript so strange that many believe it was deliberately written to hide secret knowledge. For 6 centuries, from Renaissance alchemists to Alan Turing, every codebreaker who touched it failed. And then, in the 21st century, an AI claimed it had finally cracked the Voynich Manuscript. But the result was not what anyone hoped. If that alphabet was used for something else, we'd know how to speak it, how to pronounce these words. Are you sure about that? Rewind to 1912. A Polish book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich hauls this vellum enigma out of a Jesuit library. Carbon dating places its creation in the late 1400s. There is no Rosetta Stone, no familiar alphabet, just an indecipherable riddle that refused to give up its secrets. Until now, some believed. We'll unpack exactly what the AI found. It began with a simple question a student asked one of the researchers. If the manuscript is divine, or magical, or coded, why can't anyone read it? That question helped spark one of the boldest attempts yet to understand the Voynich. By the early 2000s, after so many human failures, it was almost inevitable that researchers would turn to a new kind of codebreaker, one made not of flesh and blood, but of algorithms and silicon. In 2016, computer scientist Greg Kondrak and his graduate student Bradley Hauer at the University of Alberta decided to try. They built an AI system designed to detect patterns in the Voynich text, patterns too subtle for the human eye. The idea was simple but ambitious. Teach the AI to guess which human language the manuscript might be based on, purely from statistical fingerprints. Letter frequencies, word shapes, repetition patterns, the DNA of language. To train their model, they used the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights translated into 380 different languages. This gave the algorithm a massive library of linguistic patterns to learn from. They didn't teach it meanings, just what each language looks like mathematically. Once trained, the AI could take any unfamiliar chunk of writing and say, "This resembles Spanish more than German," or "This looks more like Italian than Latin." If they could identify the source language, they reasoned, they might finally have a path toward deciphering the manuscript. Then came the moment of truth. The researchers unleashed the AI on the Voynich text, and the result stunned everyone. The algorithm concluded that the Voynich manuscript was written in Hebrew, not Latin, not Italian, not any European language, but medieval Hebrew, somehow encrypted or transformed. Not only that, but according to the AI's scoring system, over 80% of the manuscript's words statistically resembled Hebrew. If you assume each Voynich word is a scrambled anagram of a Hebrew word with the vowels removed. Hebrew, as written historically, often omits vowels. And Voynich words are unusually short, so the idea wasn't completely insane. The hypothesis: take real Hebrew words, strip out the vowels, scramble the letters, and you might get Voynich words. It was a wild theory, but it was the best linguistic match the AI could find. For the record, some other languages, like Malay and Arabic, also scored relatively high, but Hebrew won by a noticeable margin. So the researchers pursued that lead. Their first major test was the opening line of the manuscript, the very first sentence on the first page. If anything meaningful could be decoded, they expected a clue here. They ran that line through their decrypting scheme, treating each Voynich word as an alphabetically sorted anagram of Hebrew. What they got back was nonsense, pure gibberish. Undeterred, they manually tweaked the output, adjusted spellings, guessed missing vowels, nudged the letters toward something more Hebrew-like. Then, for a final push, they dropped their partially reconstructed line into Google Translate. And suddenly, Google spat out a complete English sentence. She made recommendations to the priest, man of the house, and me and people. A full, grammar-correct, scripture-like sentence. Could this be the first real sentence decoded from the Voynich manuscript? The researchers admitted they were shocked. Greg Kondrak said, "It's a strange sentence to start a manuscript." Strange indeed. Encouraged, The team pointed to a few scattered Voynich words that could be rearranged to look like simple Hebrew nouns: farmer, air, fire. Enough, they said, to suggest the manuscript might be an herbal or medicinal guide written in enciphered Hebrew. News erupted worldwide in 2018. AI cracks the Voynich Manuscript. The ancient mystery, solved by modern algorithms. Or was it? Short answer, no. The sentence, "She made recommendations to the priest," was grammatically sound, but essentially meaningless. Tech writer James Vincent compared it to a dog walking across a keyboard in Google Translate. It sounded like a medieval HR memo, not a revelation. Beyond that one line, the AI produced nothing of value. No paragraphs, no clear translation. Just a handful of cherry-picked guesses that required massive manual help. The researchers didn't unlock the manuscript. They massaged the output until it looked like they had. And the experts were not impressed. Scholars who have spent decades studying the Voynich responded swiftly and harshly. One journalist compared the whole affair to watching Godzilla fight Mothra. Fun spectacle. Zero scientific value. Medievalists, linguists, and cryptographers listed the flaws. 1. The AI was trained on the wrong century. It learned modern Hebrew, not medieval Hebrew from 600 years ago. That's like training someone on modern English and asking them to interpret Chaucer. The vocab doesn't match. The grammar doesn't match. The culture doesn't match. 2. The top score meant almost nothing. Hebrew only won because an algorithm must pick something. Malay was a close second, a huge red flag. If Malay, Hebrew, and Arabic are all near the top, the method isn't identifying a real language. It's just choosing the least bad fit. 3. The entire translation relied on an unproven cipher rule. There's zero evidence the Voynich uses anagrammed, vowel-less Hebrew. That was simply the method the researchers tried. 4. Google Translate did most of the work. Experts called this highly unorthodox and credibility-breaking. Google is designed to produce a smooth sentence even from nonsense. It will always output something, even if it's wrong. 5. Nothing meaningful was actually deciphered. Not a single word of the Voynich was translated with certainty. Not one. Cipher historian Nick Pelling summed it up. The chance they solved it is so close to zero, it makes no practical difference. And he added, half joking, "I still can't read a single word of the Voynich, and now neither can the AI." But deeper than the scholarly criticisms, this episode revealed something important about artificial intelligence itself. AI is a pattern finder, not a thinker. It doesn't understand meaning. It doesn't know history. It cannot reason about medieval culture or herbal medicine. It simply predicts statistical patterns. It will always give an answer, even when it should say, "I don't know." That's why AI experts use the term hallucination, when a model confidently produces something that sounds real but isn't. That's what happened here. The AI didn't read the Voynich manuscript. It hallucinated a sentence-shaped guess. Still, this experiment wasn't a total failure. It showed that machine learning can generate new hypotheses and explore linguistic territory at incredible speed. With better data, say thousands of medieval Hebrew texts, future AI might actually gain real insight. But for now, the Voynich manuscript remains unsolved. And maybe that's for the best. Its mystery is part of its power. The manuscript forces linguists, historians, cryptographers, and now programmers to stretch their imaginations. It inspires collaboration, not quick answers. A machine may someday crack it, but not today. For now, the Voynich endures as it always has. A riddle from the 15th century waiting patiently for the one mind, human or machine, able to finally hear what it's trying to say. Until then, the code stands unbroken, and that, in its own way, is a kind of magic. Thanks for watching. If this story shook you, just wait. There are far darker mysteries out there still waiting to be uncovered. So before you go, Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell because the next upload might change the way you see reality forever.